So my name is Sophie Galibert. I'm a French filmmaker. So now I live in Los Angeles, and my last project is actually my first feature film named Cherry, which actually will be world premiering at Tribeca in a few days now, in June. Cherry follows the story of Cherry, which is a 25 years old woman in Los Angeles who actually discovered that she's pregnant, and it's not expected. So she has to make a decision. She has basically 24 hours to make a decision to whether pursue or not the pregnancy. It's a very simple story. It's based actually on my own experience. It's a very colorful and uplifting movie. I mean, I tried at least to make this movie positive, but of course the theme and the subject itself, it's more like a drama, but I really want to treat it as a comedy. So sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. I think I wanted to have this balance between life, it's hard, but there is so much beauty as well to see, to embrace. So this is a short feature. It's like 1 hour and 15 minutes, and it's my first feature. So it's very special to me. Even though I'm French, this is an American movie, right? It's in English with a complete like American cast. And so I mean, Tribeca is definitely like the best place to present this movie. It's a festival that really supports like independent filmmakers. So yeah, I feel very lucky. So I think first, there is not one way. I mean, we are all different, and there is so many ways to do things. So this is just my own perspective. So you're gonna have to find also your own perspective, like your own way to do. But I think the first thing is just to start to do, because there's so many people who want to do it, but they never kind of take the risk. So I think the first thing is just do it, like make short film, collaborate with people, like watch movie, meet people, just start to move. I think that's the main thing, is to move and to push and to move forward all the time, because it's a very difficult journey. It's take sometimes a lot of time. Some people spend 10 years making their first feature or their second feature. So I'm a very impatient person, but I think I learn patience a lot, because yeah, you have to be patient. Things takes time. And also I think, I mean, for me to be a director doesn't really mean anything. I mean, it's not even a job. It's like people who make movies are filmmakers, and people who direct are directors. So it's more about what you have to say. If you have something personal, if you have like a story that you think deserves to be shared, because it will not necessarily changeable, but at least it will touch someone or will connect another human, I think it's worth doing it. So I think you need to think about like the story that you carry, and everybody has a story to share. And sometimes my friends say, oh, I have like 3 features that I want to write this year. I'm like, at least focus on one. Like if you only have, this is an advice that I like to give, is like, if you only have 1 year to live, what is the story you would like to direct or to write? So I think it's just kind of focusing maybe on one thing, because as director, I think we are very curious people. So we are like really into like, sometimes we can become very ambitious and we want to tell a lot of stories, but starting with focusing on one thing will be already a lot. And I think it's what I did with Cherry. But some people are like, oh, I wanted to be a director since I'm 5. That was not my case. I mean, I didn't do in a big cinema school. I just started working. I did so many things. I worked for TV, I worked for like camera operator, I work in production. So I think all along the way, I learned things, and I, start collaboration, and I learned so many skills that as a director helped me to communicate and to understand other people's needs. So I think, again, there's not one way. Of course, you can go to the best, cinema school. It may help you to like save some years, but some people come from nowhere and just do it. So I think learning different things will always help you. Like I learned so much in production, and I think it really helped me to make this first feature, because I'm also the kind of co-producer in Cherry. So I was able to like communicate with my producer and understand what was at stakes, and what was important, and where we could save money or not. So everything that you will do will help you at some point down the road. Making a movie start with a script, so maybe start writing, and then start like meeting people, because you're gonna need a crew, and you're gonna need money. So that's also like, I think a very difficult point in like making movies. Like at some point you're gonna have to have this money. So maybe don't write something that is too expensive. If it's your first, movie, maybe try to be ambitious if you have the, if you think you're gonna have the money. But if you want to make it in any way, you're gonna have maybe to rethink what you really need. And actually limitation create creativity. So if you think, okay, I'm gonna just make a story in one room with 2 characters, it can sound like kind of not fun, but actually it will force you to really think about, okay, what I want to say, why I want to say the story, and it's gonna force you to go deeper, whether to just to add a bunch of VFX and explosion and helicopter, I don't know. I think the most challenging part is like, you're not going to be on the set like every day. I mean, we shot Cherry in 14 days, but we spent like 3 years doing it. So there's this huge amount of time where you won't be actually directing your actors, but the time before and after the shooting is as important. Actually, maybe even more important, because, for example, when you prep, it's such a crucial moment where you're gonna, decide who's gonna be your cast, and all the decisions you're gonna make before actually shooting are gonna impact the shooting itself. So I think just managing this time when you're looking for money and you start a collaboration and it didn't go through because this person has a bigger project. So you're gonna have to accept that it's a long road and sometimes a lot of things gonna fail, but you're gonna have to go back on your feet and keep moving forward. About the budget thing, I think there's some stuff that costs a lot of money, like working with a lot of background, babies, I think it will help you to really to think simple. And also I think for me, the best story as a simpler one, the one that really tells something very simple. It's what I try to do with Cherry. It's a very simple story. So as simple as it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be as simple as gonna get to make this, your movie possible. But yeah, the time aspect is, I talk with a lot of screenwriter as well. The time aspect it can be really difficult, because you can work for years on something and it will, I don't know, get canceled at the last minute, or sometimes the day before the shooting. So I don't think getting a Oscar or whatever award will really be the real reward. Actually, I think it's more feeling that what you say really gonna connect with other people. I think people may not like my movie at some point, but I'm sure some woman gonna recognize themselves in Cherry, or will feel that they're not alone in their experience. I think this feeling that I'm a human and sometimes I feel so alone, but we can all connect because we all experience the same thing and the same challenge. So I think even though it's not very if you go to the theater, the play, you perform and then there's an audience. With movie it's different, because you work on this project and the connection with the audience will gonna be years later. Sometimes you won't be there because people are gonna be watching your movie at home, or you won't be in the movie theater. So it's very disconnect. But I think, if it's touching for me, I'm sure it will be touching for at least one human. I think that's the kind of rewarding part of it. I think the idea that people are gonna finally watch it and I hope enjoy it, it's a fun part. So it's still not, it's still in a week, but I think it makes me think that, okay, it's real. I didn't do all that for nothing. It won't be just on my computer. So I think that's the fun part, this little excitement that is growing days after days. You don't make a movie just to keep it on the file. So it's starting to be real, really real. Start directing, take anything, an iPhone, just start, telling story. I think that's one thing. And then try to connect with people that you admire their work or you respect. So start to build your tribe, because it's going to be very precious to have people that you respect and they want to collaborate with you. And the third thing, keep watching movie. Just keep feeling yourself, not even movie, but just keep watching movie, go to the play, watch dance. Just feel yourself with other arts, because sometimes in the cinema world, we start to be we're in our bubble, but traveling and just hiking is very fulfilling. So I think just fulfill with yourself with the world, because it's gonna create energy for making movie, or it's gonna create ideas and inspiration.